Do you remember that time when Tom DeLonge went on the Joe Rogan Experience and said this?
The sixth biggest defense contractor in the world, at least they used to be six, is a company called Science Applications International Corporation, SAIC. Their headquarters are actually in San Diego, and in the front of the building, you have an obelisk coming out of a fake lake and two Atlantean on thrones, and they're both holding pyramids, and one says the past and one says the future. They're 8-foot tall statues. It's nuts, by the way.
Well, there's a little bit of a problem with what he said because there is no information directly connecting SAIC to these sculptures available online. And I've been looking, and Jay from Project Unity has been looking as well. And there's also no documentation available that would connect SAIC to the building where these sculptures were installed. However, it does look like their headquarters were in San Diego. But that building was located 1.5 miles away from these sculptures. But according to this 1990 LA Times news article, it looks like the past future sculptures were associated with the Nexus Technology Center when they were installed there in the same year. But that technology center has changed names over the years, but all I've been able to find as far as its occupants are pharmaceutical companies. So did Tom get misled, or is Tom misleading us? In order to find that answer, I had to dig even deeper. So after following lead after lead and getting passed from person to person, I was finally able to get in contact with the one person that I think could clear this whole thing up. I was able to find the business partner of the artist that made these sculptures, who just so happens to be his brother. Of course, I would have preferred to speak to the artist himself, but unfortunately, the artist himself, A. Wazil, died unexpectedly in 2008 at the age of 56. But not before the prolific artist was able to create thousands of sculptures, many of which are on display in the San Diego area, and a few of which that made their way into the Vatican. So after months of reaching out to his brother and having conversations, here's what I learned. He had no idea that these sculptures had even been discussed on the Joe Rogan Experience. But he did have an idea about the meaning of these sculptures because of his relationship with his brother. He stated that the ancient-looking male represents the past few millennia of solid historical biblical male reference. The future sculpture, in contrast, is about the re-emergent female essence, forward-looking, Gaia in intent, embodying the progressive science, heart, and mind view of the human future. But his brother didn't have any involvement in the creation of the obelisk in the background. Obelisk. Additionally, he stated that these sculptures had nothing to do with Atlantis. But here's where things got even more interesting, because much to my surprise, he did confirm that these sculptures were commissioned by SAIC, and that they were obviously expensive. So I gotta admit, Tom was right. Unfortunately, these sculptures have been removed and their whereabouts are unknown. And in 2009, SAIC headquarters relocated from San Diego to the outskirts of Washington, D.C. So in my book, it's case closed. These sculptures are related to SAIC. But the question remains, why did SAIC commission their creation? If anyone out there can help me find the answer to that question, hit me up. I'd love to know. Thanks for watching.